Hi Virgos, if you want to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support, and let's empathically explore your ink blot made in your name and essence. If you want to take a screenshot so you can scry on your own time and terms for shapes or symbols that speak to your psyche and psychic senses. Virgos, when you're ready, I'm going to take a moment to cleanse the eyes, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. Virgos, when you're ready. Thank you as always for holding space for me to share my insights, and feel well to comment below what you see, sense, and feel. Oh, I'm seeing is it like a little, like Lucy or something from the Grinch Who Stole Christmas? But I'm seeing like the Grinch hands on top, but like there's like a mix of the two characters in one. So I don't know, sometimes you can be a little Grinch and a little girl. You know, just good Virgos, you got that air about you. You can see value in playing both characters. I'm also seeing the Joker. So maybe there is something going on in like a little bit of a depressive nature. Maybe the season, 'tis the season or end of the year, isn't your favorite for one reason or a few. But there's still like a part of you that enjoys the purity of it, but there's still other parts that just kind of, you know, make you want to pull your hair out. So hopefully Virgos, you're not, you know, taking on more than you need to or can, you know, and can relax a little bit if that's what you want, Virgos. I'm also seeing love in the legs. So that's an interesting way of saying that. I'm not sure that I've ever seen it before. So love in the legs. Maybe you've been working out or been doing like Pilates or some sort of leg workout, and you're really trying to tone up your walking sticks or your dancing sticks. The other part of me is seeing just a lighter side, like a tutu, and it's bringing about that inner child again. I don't know if like adulting has just been like and you know, maybe a little dance baby dance like the world is ending, dance baby dance, can just, you know, lighten you up a little bit, a little lighter on your feet. That's what that feels like. Something about a warm jacket. I don't know if you have like a really warm jacket that's like your favorite. I feel as though when I say warm jacket, I'm also getting the sensation that somebody, including your higher self, but there might be someone in spirit that is giving you a great big hug where it feels like one of those massive poofy winter jackets. It doesn't actually have to be winter where you are, Virgos, other than where it is here. It's cold, but it's gonna get colder in Canada. But that's what it feels like. There's a big old hug coming from the higher realms around you. I'm also seeing, Virgos, I'm loving these characters, I'm not going to lie. I'm seeing Oscar the Grouch, like peeking out of a garbage can. Oh, 5 of Swords just came in. Okay, so see how like his hand is on his head? So right here, like I'm seeing, this is the big old winter jacket and like the Grinch, but like the hands are like on the head. Oh, it's just something in the Virgo collective. And yet right behind is an air of freedom right there. Freedom. What do we have here? Oh, the Star and Judgment. Virgos. Okay. So then remember I was talking about the big hug, the purple winter jacket? There it is. And the the love in your legs is the Star. Seeing that coloring is how it lines up for me. Love in your legs. Judgment. I don't know, maybe if there's that air of depression, or just like the Grinch, Oscar the Grouch. Maybe this time of year just isn't great for you. But I almost want to say, like, if it's not emotionally great, but there's someone in spirit who thinks you are you willing to receive that? Are you willing to receive that they are with you? You are connected to them even though they're gone, even though they're not physically here. And I'm seeing that little character from The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, and she's looking at the tall mountain to where I guess the Grinch is, up there. And she is not afraid. She's not afraid to give the grumpy gopher guts a gift. And I feel like that's like your human to higher self, your hurt to your healing. Your healing is trying to get a gift through, to say we don't need to be so grumpy. But if you're grumpy, rest, so you don't stay there too long. You can let it go, and then you can shine. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like you have to, like, oh, you're grumpy gopher guts. Like, I am probably one of the least festive people in my family, where, yeah, I could easily be construed as a Scrooge. I'm not a Scrooge. I'm not. However, I've also had to learn to be a little bit nicer to those who really dig the holidays, right? They just dig them. And you're like, okay. Page. I think it's the Page of Swords. There's that dancing in the legs. Page of Wands, sorry. Yeah. Dancing, painting, something about like changing perspectives and the judgments maybe you apply to yourself. I feel like Virgos, you can be really, really hard on yourself. Oh, okay. So on the other hand, I just saw that it might be somebody else who's giving you a headache. Ooh. Could be a child. Could be a star child. And you've recently had to let them go, whether this was emotionally, perhaps they passed on. Condolences if you have most recently lost a child. No matter how much grief they caused you, even if you've had to like emotionally release from them because of just the pain that they were causing, but you've had to make a judgment call and to release them. And I'm seeing like the really long Pinocchio woodpeckers. Woodpeckers with Pinocchio beaks. Like I feel like not everything was being told. The whole story wasn't being told. Something was in the way. I'm also seeing like, I don't know if it's like a metal bridge or something, but I feel like a Hulk had to open it up for this to be released. That's what that felt like to the Eight of Wands. Okay, and once it was like the effort and the angst, and perhaps this is in the mental mind, maybe it's not, if you're resonating, maybe it's not in relation to another relative. Maybe it's of your own reality. And it's like, you got to be the Hulk. And then as that happens, I can see like a bunch of I don't want to say magicians. No, it's like the chakra system, the energy system. The energy system, it like like the Big Bang Theory breathes again. Virgos, I feel like I'm kind of all over in this reading, so I apologize if this feels convoluted, but it's like one situation is relatable in many different avenues. But it's all coming down to the system. I'm seeing like a big... Okay, I'm seeing... Okay, hold on a second. We'll see what that is. 9 of Pentacles. If this is in regards to yourself, in that mental anguish, kind of like... Yeah, digging it. There's a hawk up there. There's a hawk up in that tree. And then I'm coming here. Sorry, that's what I wanted to do. So when you do that, oh, even I can breathe. It feels nice. Like my whole body is breathing. It feels really, really good, Virgos. So the work is worth it. The work is worth it. Maybe even releasing judgments. I don't know if you hold yourself to a really, really high bar. Maybe you are a star. Maybe you have particular people watching you. Maybe you are a parent and there's little people watching you, or maybe you're a person and or a parent and there's lots of eyes watching you, like you're a provider, you're a giver in some way on a platform or in person. But you're also allowed to breathe and break free of things. Because this eagle up here is like handing you, if I may, thank you. When I'm in here in the ink blot, like right in here, and see these 2 eyes, and way off to the side, I don't know if it'll come through, there's somebody like with their, I know it's the thinker pose, but it's actually quite comical. Like there's the hand on the chin and there's the big old eye. Almost like a cartoon, really like a cartoon character that's thinking, like a higher mind thinking, like, how am I going to go about this, eh? And then when I go to the other side, I don't see the same thing. I actually see a panther. So that symbology may mean something to you, Virgos, working in like the mystical realm or the healing realm, the higher self realm, because it's what's helping the human aspect down here. I'm not saying all Virgo. This is the general abstract energy and aura of the Virgo collective. Because, okay. Oh, got all excited there, and I don't mean to get excited, but when it pops through, sometimes I forget. So I'm watching somebody swim, but it's like I'm watching them from above. And they have their hands out holding a smaller body swimming. And it's like they're teaching them how to swim. So they're hand to hand, but it's like they're pulling them. You're like, oh, you're doing it, you're doing it. Now, I'm not trying to minimize if this is an adult Virgo to an adult mindset. And it's like, don't minimize my human or that's not what it's about. One is this simply could be your child, the page that has come up quite significantly. And maybe you have absolutely gone through a devastating loss or disconnect. Somebody who helped teach how to swim, somebody brought up in the womb of your waters or in the house of your heart as a father. Like they were just a part of you, and you've had some sort of disconnection. That sucks. And that absolutely can bring in what we've already talked about. But I feel like what's unseen is when I'm seeing that. So the Virgo, could be helping, right, your child. If it's the higher aspect with the human aspect, and I'm not minimizing it, it's simply in a different spatial structuring. It's because Virgos, what I'm feeling like is you're going through a growth spurt, a glow up, if you will, and you're being called to graduate type thing. And I feel like you've already graduated something. And now like you're out and you're like, okay, I've graduated. Maybe some of you are going to school for other things, symbolically speaking, of course. Maybe some of you are starting new jobs or just hanging back. But here's the thing, no matter which route you take, you're still a beginner again. And maybe that's just what gets you a bit grumpy. You're like, oh my goodness, no matter how much I perfect things, learn things, at some point in time, I'm still a beginner. Yes, because that is the beauty of being of youth, to stay sharp in the mind, to stay sharp in the skill, to expand and grow. And there's, for some, it may be the headache, could be stagnation and an unwillingness to move beyond where one is wise and comfortable. See, this is my knowing. Then bring it with you. Bring it with you. I don't know, Virgos. I hope this is making sense. I feel like this could be a little rough, but for those who resonate, that kind of know where they're going or what they're going through in one fashion or another, I feel like somebody understands the story, and that's perfectly well said. There is a particular amount of softness that's being asked to come in, whether this is in self-reflection, self-judgment, beginning, or in feeling the disconnect and loss if somebody has in fact passed. My condolences. If somebody has in fact passed, the acceptance of that. Condolences again. Werewolf exploring the wildness, because yes, Virgos, in some way, shape, or form, a part of you is transforming from grief, from disappointment, from being a wise one to being a student again. The Virgo energy collectively, what I'm getting here is, holy schmoly, don't be so hard on yourself, because you've already done so much. You've already graduated, I don't know how many times. But those that are willing to do it again and to go further, to do more, be more, not because you're not enough. But because you are weaving, you are a part of the fabric of reality, the part of the fabric and frequencies and spiral of creation, because somebody might be in stagnation and it's miserable. And it's like when I see a spider web and it's so beautiful, and sometimes where the spider has placed their spider web, and I try very hard not to disrupt this, but sometimes I have to very carefully, mindfully try and move their web, like to the best of my, really I end up destroying it, but that's not my intention. And the spider continues to create webs. And for all I know, this one spider where I'm seeing one web could have like 10 webs. And it's like, oh, awesome. I never really liked it there anyway. I thought I kind of, it wasn't as, great of a place. And maybe I did the spider a favor. I will absolutely tell myself that to make myself feel better. But the point being is, the spider will always continue to weave a web that works for the werewolf within. And I mean that obviously symbolically, for you to transform, for you to work your magic, Virgos. Because it's so kind of just well-known, Virgos, or at least for the Virgos that I know and the Virgo energies, there is always a particular amount of youthful energy within a Virgo. There always seems to be somehow, no matter how wise, no matter how old soul, no matter how wicked or wonderful a Virgo is, there's always a sparkle of a star child or a page, that youthful energy that is there. And sometimes that might just be your guiding light closing out to the new year, to be like, if stuff's making you pull your hair out from the holidays to going through the grief of the loss, to your own stagnation to stardom, the Grinch to the Lucy Lou, is that her name, Lucy Lou? You know, put on the winter coat of a hug. And if you don't have that or have that feeling from the higher self, like I hope you feel that here. You know, a big old poofy coat of a higher self hug of everyone that you've ever worked with before, of those in spirit. They weave with you, around you, and possibly in the invisible. You might even feel like you've walked into spider webs, and really it's just spirit saying, we're working with you. We're right here. We're right here. All right, Virgos, I've rambled on long enough. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being my muse and my inspiration as always. I hope this served and helped strengthen our psyche and psychic senses. And until next time, thank you.